benefit of me being this tall is that Will can't reach that top one now. Just to get the step ladder out behind you. Right, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about the range of supplements that I'm currently taking. I'm sure quite a lot of you are probably quite interested in what I take. So I've got the luxury of being a sponsored athlete by Supplement Needs, and I'm now also an employee. But before then, before any of that, I was still supporting the brand, still taking the supplements. So I have a monthly allowance with these guys. They set aside a couple of $100 per month for me to kit myself out with what I need. But as you can see, it's quite a lot. So I usually always end up going over that allowance. But yeah, this is the range that I take, and we'll break it down bit by bit. Right, so here we've got some of the newest products in the Supplement Needs range. First one is Protein Fusion. I've been trying this out now for about 5 or 6 weeks since its launch. I take this in the morning, meal one, along with the cream of rice. I've got milk chocolate and cookie dough flavour. Reason why I take these both at the same time, I'll have 2 scoops of that, 4 scoops of that, meal one, I'll blend it all up. I'll have that with a banana and then 30 grams of peanut butter, purely because I can't really eat much in the morning. I need to get a meal in me first before I can really start to get the solids in. So this has been a good combo to have. It's one that obviously packs a punch with the, the amount of protein and the amount of carbs and stuff that I need. So sits well in my stomach as well, digests nicely and does the job. So I really like these two at the moment. Definitely going to keep them in for future reference. Next up, we've got the intra-carb. So I only use this pre and intra. I will take 3 scoops of this, and I'll also stick it in with 1 scoop of intra EAA. And you think when I'm training for 4, sometimes 5 hours for an event session, I need those carbs in me to keep me ticking over and to keep me sort of energized. So yeah, that's definitely one of the big staples within my sort of supplement range. And then of course we've got the pre's. I'm super sensitive to caffeine, so if I have like a can of anything, it will just send me off my nut. So I really like these, 200 milligrams of caffeine, but that's about it. And then it's got some nootropics and stuff in there. So again, I don't want a heavy hit of caffeine, because if I start to get jittery and my heart rate's going elevated and through the roof, it doesn't play well for a strong man. So I feel like these are really good. And then we've got the electrolytes. So we've got RTDs, and then we've also got powdered versions. Me personally, again, I will take this first thing in the morning, literally immediately upon waking. I'll start sipping that, and then it sets me up for the rest of the day, because if you've been sleeping for 8 or 9 hours, you're dehydrated. So that sort of gets the job done for me. So the next lot that we got, this is my magnesium stuff. So I take quite a lot of magnesium, 1,500 milligrams per day, which is quite a hefty amount. The reason why, it was actually pre-Britain's Strongest Man. I reached out to Dr. Dean St. Mart, who was the formulator for all of these supplements, and I asked him his advice on IV drips, because that was something that I was looking at getting frequently done. And we came to the conclusion that with the cost of IVs getting done every sort of week or fortnightly, it didn't really make viable sense for me to do that. So this was the next best option. I take 14 magnesium a day, 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 3 glucox in the morning, and then 2 sleep stack in the evening. So that is a total of 1,500 milligrams. I think it's equated to my body weight, which is a roughly 150 kilos. So it's 10x that in milligrams. And I've been doing this since Britain's Strongest Man, and I feel really good. So it's definitely something that's going to stay in the mix. Right, so next up we've got my sort of micronutrients and my health subs. So to start off with, obviously we've got the omegas. I have 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. I think 1 serving is 1 a day, but with me being close to sort of 150, 160 kilos, I think it'd double up. Next up, vitamin D3, K2, a multivit, and then berberine. So I take berberine around sort of my eating windows if I'm especially having a high carb meal, just to help with the, with the purposes of a GDA, getting the glucose to where it needs to be. So they're pretty much staple, and then this will just be thrown in if and when I need to, when my food's really high. And then the last thing on the list is glutathione. So this is the liposomal. For anyone that doesn't know, it's sort of like Calpol. You can get it in different forms. You can get it IV, which is something that I do occasionally do, but obviously it's quite costly, whereas this is it's much better, and it's got higher bioavailability than most other supplements when it comes to capsules or powdered versions. So definitely I will take this, especially around sort of times where I'm in the general public, which I try and avoid as much as possible. So if I'm at a competition and there's lots of people and there's a risk of me getting sick or anything, I will be smashing this. And again, coming off the back of Europe's Strongest Man, going into Worlds, the last thing I want to do, sabotage my prep and get sick. So this is in the mix without a doubt, 100%. Right, so last on the list, we've got the Advanced Health Stack. So that is the combination of these three products. You've got Heart Stack, Kidney and Blood Pressure Stack, and then Liver Stack. With me being a pro strongman, being close to 160 kilos, I put my body through a lot. Obviously, I'm consuming insane amounts of calories and things like that. So when it comes to these products, these are sort of the core, and then everything else is bolted on. Obviously, I get my blood work done regularly, so I can see what's, I get a snapshot of my health. And if it weren't for these, obviously, I think I'd probably be in a worse way than what I am. So these are definitely a staple. And I've been running these now for the best part of 3 years, and touch wood. I don't think this is wood. Touch wood, my health's decent. So I attribute a lot of that to this lot here. Get out. Get faster. A little bit faster. A little bit faster. Make me look good. Oh, I do. Right, so for those of you that may or may not know, we've got some exciting stuff coming for the brand for supplement needs. Typically day to day, I am in the warehouse assisting, packing orders, serving customers, that sort of thing. But today is a little bit different. As you can see, things are a little bit all over the place at the moment, but we may or may not be moving to a new HQ very soon. So it's very exciting. I'm really happy to be a part of it. So this is day one of the may or may not move to the HQ. So there you go. Right, this is technically my pre-workout meal. So we're coming up to 4:45 now. This is meal, I'll break it down for you. Meal one was 2 scoops of protein fusion, 4 scoops of cream of rice, and I have a banana and 30 grams of peanut butter. Have that first thing in the morning just because my appetite is a bit tanked in the morning. I can't really stomach a solid meal. Plus it's usually about 7-ish. So it's early doors for me. So I get that like smoothie, shake or whatever you want to call it in. And then I can kind of kickstart my day. Before I walk out the door, I will have a glass of orange juice. So 400 mils of orange juice. Technically, if you want to call that a meal, that would be meal 2. Meal 3, I have here at about 11 o'clock. That is usually beef and rice. So at the moment I'm having in my rice dry weight about 150 grams, and then I'll have about 200 grams of beef. And then again, it'll be a vertical meal. So I'll add chicken stock and usually sliced carrots or peppers, plenty of salt. That'll be meal 3. Meal 4 at the moment, especially when I'm here at Supplement Needs, I've got the luxury of Deliveroo. I don't have that where I live. I live out in the sticks. So I'll time it as well around sort of training days. So today, for example, tonight I'm training a big session. So today I've got Nando's. I had 4 boneless chicken thighs, their rice, their chips, and squeaky cheese, whatever you call that. I think it's halloumi. Squeaky cheese is what it's called. Had that. So that'll be meal, what are we on? Meal 4. And now, so yeah, this is meal 5. This is orzo pasta. So it's about 100 grams of dry weight. And I think I worked out it's about the equivalent of about 140 grams of rice in terms of the carbohydrates. 250 grams of lean beef mince, some tomatoes, and then a little bit of passata and seasoning just to kind of make like a sort of like a spag bowl, but obviously not a spag bowl. So I'll get this in me. And then I finish work here at 5:30. So by then I'll probably have my pre-workout drink. So today's a big session. I'll probably have some pre-focus, and I'll probably have a scoop and a half, to be honest with you, just to see me through. It's about an hour drive home. So when I get home, I'll have another little light snack that will usually be in a form of a banana, to be honest with you. And then I'm on to my intras. So I'll have 3 scoops of carb powder, 1 scoop of EAA, get me through training. And then if I need any added electrolytes, I'll have some, or if I need like a Hydromax or something to see me through. Then by the time I'm done training, it'll be late. You're talking probably 10:30, 11. I'll be wanting to get to bed, so I'll have either the same shake that I had in the morning, or if I can be bothered, I will cook up a steak. So I'll have a steak and 100 grams of rice, and then that will do me for the night. Obviously, I'll have my PM supplements, I'll have PM Prime and Sleep Stack to kind of just switch me off, get me parasympathetic, get the caffeine out of my system, and then ensure that I can get a decent night of sleep. So altogether, I think we counted 6 meals. 6 meals. I have worked out the calories and the macros in the past, but at this stage now, I'm eating the same thing day in, day out, pretty much religiously, aside from the Nando's. I think it's about 5.5, 6,000. The main focus for me is getting my carbs focused around that kind of training window with the carb powders, and obviously this is quite a carb heavy meal as well. And then that's pretty much me it. So and that I pretty much eat the same things. I'll recycle foods as well. So at the moment, obviously, I'm going for a bit of a pasta stage just because I've been so sick of eating rice. And then I'll just get fed up of this, and I'll probably swap one ingredient out for someone else, and then just start smashing that again for like the next couple of months. And the only thing that changes if I need to manipulate my body weight in any way whatsoever is I'll up the calories. So usually it's the carbs. So I'll go maybe 100 grams of rice up to 110, 120. At the moment, it's up to about 150, which is quite heavy. And
Anyone do your diet?
I've had nutritionists in the past. I've had 2 nutritionists in the past. I've learned quite a lot from them, but then I found if I ever did deviate from their plan whatsoever, it would negatively impact me in a mental way where I felt like I was failing. Whereas if I can sort of just auto-regulate it myself, I found that I can just be more sustainable long term. And I'm not a big foodie, so I'm quite happy just to eat the same things. And I've found things that agree with me from a digestive point of view. So yeah, I just don't really change anything. And then when I go to Worlds, for example, I'll be eating the same things. I'll probably even buy this exact pasta and have it in my luggage with me and cook it up when I get there, and try and keep every variable the same. Just because I know it agrees with me from a performance and even from like a body composition standpoint. My body composition is improving all the time, despite the fact that I'm eating Nando's or whatever 2, 3, 4 times a week. Partly probably due to my metabolism as well, I guess. My energy expenditure is quite high. Yeah. I mean, I probably won't work with a nutritionist again. There's one guy from Australia called Max McCool who's very interesting. I think if I was to ever get hire a nutritionist, I'd probably go under him, just because of some of the names that he's coached. I like the way that he's quite unorthodox with his approach as well. But anytime I've had a nutritionist in the past, it's just not worked out. And the other thing as well is, out of these 6 meals tonight, for example, I won't see Rachel. I'll finish work, go home, train, go to bed. But like tomorrow, for example, I will finish work. I would have ate my 4 or 5 meals, and then that 6th meal I'll have with her. And that could be, I mean, we eat pretty well. It'll be something like a cottage pie or something. It's all decent ingredients, and I'll make sure that I'm getting the calories and the protein and stuff. But I had it in the past where my nutritionist was trying to get me to weigh ingredients out with the missus, and it just causes more stress than it does good. So I mean, I probably eat with the missus as much as I often can, but 4 or 5 times a week, or if it's like the occasional breakfast here or there, I'm not opposed to, having some bacon and some eggs and whatever else and just enjoying it, because it's a lot more sustainable long term. And I'm not a bodybuilder at the end of the day, despite what a very minority amount of people say. I'm not a bodybuilder, so I can get away with slamming it. I mean, I had a bit of Will's wedding cake earlier this morning, so that's pretty banging. That was probably about 500 calories. Day 1 of the new chapter for Supplement Needs done and dusted. I'm heading off home now to do a training session. Got a fairly big one tonight. And then my man Adam's coming to film me on Saturday as well for my final heavy event session. I think it's like 6 events I got to do. Steeplechase, Conan's wheel, heavy Atlas stones, 240 for reps. And then some other little bits and bobs as well, which we'll capture. We're going to also shoot some more footage after that, going into Worlds, as well as like some food and nutrition stuff more in depth as well. So it's going to be good. Stay tuned.